Let me tell you a story that still gives me chills every time I think about it. And honestly, it changed how I see courage, power, and the meaning of justice. Picture this. A young black woman, Alicia Carter, walks into Jefferson High School for her very first day as a teacher. Looking sharp in a navy blazer, her hair tied back, confidence radiating from her calm smile. She's new in town, just left behind the tough streets of Chicago. And she has no idea that the very moment she steps into that school, she's already on a collision course with the most notorious bullies in the district. See, Jefferson High is the kind of place that looks perfect from the outside: shiny floors, trophies everywhere, teachers who smile for the yearbook photos. But underneath, there's a current of fear that nobody wants to talk about, a darkness that's driven more than one teacher to pack up and run. And at the center of it all, Jake Matthews and his crew. Dylan Brooks, the muscle, and Ethan Lee, the brains. Kids who grew up with everything and believe they own everyone. You know, the type: untouchable, arrogant, using their family's influence to bend the rules or break them whenever they want. Alicia isn't the first new teacher they've gone after. Far from it. Most lasted a month, maybe two, before the pranks turned cruel, the threats got real, and the rumors went viral. Jake, with his movie star looks and his father's reputation as one of Denver's most powerful men, could turn the whole school against you with a snap of his fingers. Dylan's fists did the rest. Ethan? He played puppet master, watching quietly, always 3 moves ahead. But Alicia Carter, she was different. Not that anyone could tell just looking at her. She greeted every student by name, set up her classroom with sunlight and a potted plant, and dove right into teaching. Underneath, though, she carried a secret that would change everything. 15 years of karate, a third-degree black belt earned with blood, sweat, and a will that wouldn't break. She didn't advertise it. That wasn't her way. She learned long ago that true strength means not showing off, but standing steady, especially when it would be easier to run. The first week, Jake tested her, of course. The remarks, the sneers, the "let's see how long you last," muttered just loud enough for her to hear. Most people would get rattled. Alicia just smiled calm, unshakable, and kept teaching. But that only made Jake and his crew more determined. And let's be real, more dangerous. Soon, the attacks escalated: messed up lesson plans, vandalized car, fake social media accounts slandering her name, and rumors so wild that even other teachers started looking at Alicia sideways. But you know what? She didn't flinch. She reported the vandalism. She documented every threat, every insult, every whisper in the hallway. She never snapped back, never lashed out. Instead, she started an after-school club for the kids who'd been bullied the most, teaching them self-defense, sure, but also how to stand tall and look people in the eye. And the funny thing is, her quiet strength started to change the energy in that classroom. The shy kids sat up straighter. The ones who'd been scared to speak, like Jessica Parker or Marcus Johnson, started raising their hands. But Jake, Dylan, and Ethan, they weren't about to let go of their power. Not without a fight. The real turning point came during an English class, right in the middle of a presentation by Maria Gonzalez, a sweet, nervous girl who'd been working for weeks to get up the courage to speak. Jake interrupted her, mocking her accent, trying to humiliate her in front of everyone. The air in the room got thick. Every kid froze, waiting to see what Alicia would do. That's when Alicia walked right up to Jake, looked him dead in the eye, and told him to sit down. No yelling, no threats, just a quiet, unshakable authority. Jake, of course, tried to push past her big mistake. In a flash, Alicia used her training. A wrist lock here, a pivot there, and suddenly the 3 toughest boys in school were stumbling, off balance, humiliated in front of everyone, and she hadn't even raised her voice. The whole class was stunned. Jake and his gang had finally met their match. But Alicia didn't gloat. She just turned to Maria and said, "We all want to hear your story. Go ahead." And for the first time, Maria finished her speech, voice strong, tears in her eyes, while her classmates listened in awe. It would be nice to say that was the end of it, that Jake's crew just gave up. But in reality, things got uglier. The rumors got nastier, parents got involved, and soon enough, Alicia was called into the principal's office only this time. Jake's father was there, all bluster and legal threats, demanding Alicia be fired on the spot. Alicia stood her ground. Calm, composed, she pulled out her laptop and showed the principal and Mr. Matthews the mountain of evidence. Photos, messages, videos, all documenting every cruel thing Jake, Dylan, and Ethan had done. Mr. Matthews, well, let's just say he wasn't expecting that. Suddenly, his anger faded into shock, then shame, as he realized the truth about his son. The school couldn't ignore it anymore. Jake, Dylan, and Ethan were suspended, required to apologize, sent to counseling, made to do community service. For the first time, they had to face the consequences of their actions, and you could see the change in them, slow at first but real. Jake, for all his arrogance, was humbled. In the quiet of the school library, writing letters of apology, he started to understand the pain he'd caused. Dylan, always the tough guy, discovered the power of telling his story, writing about his struggles, his loneliness, his regret. Ethan found a place on the debate team, channeling his sharp mind into arguments that built up rather than tore down. The self-defense club Alicia started, it became a sanctuary, a place where kids who'd once hidden in the shadows learned to stand tall. Even the teachers, once skeptical or afraid, started to believe that real change was possible. But the most powerful moment came near the end of the year, when Jake himself walked into the gym where Alicia was cleaning up after practice. No swagger left, just a kid with tears in his eyes, asking for forgiveness. Alicia listened, told him that owning up was the hardest and most important step he could take. Jake went on to lead the anti-bullying initiative, standing in front of the school and telling everyone exactly how wrong he'd been. And you know what? The culture at Jefferson High began to shift. Kids like Jessica and Marcus, who'd been silent, now led by example, helping others find their voice. Teachers who once turned a blind eye began to step in, protect their students, and stand up for what was right. Alicia's story isn't just about beating the bad guys or showing off martial arts moves. It's about the quiet courage it takes to keep going when everyone else would quit, the strength it takes to forgive, and the faith that even the worst people can change if someone is brave enough to believe in them. Now let me ask you, if you were in Alicia's shoes, would you have stood your ground? Have you ever faced down bullies or watched someone transform for the better? Tell me your story in the comments. Let's talk about what real justice looks like and how one person's courage can change everything for a whole community. If you felt inspired, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that remind us just how powerful standing up for what's right can be. See you in the next one.